EastEnders Ian Beale, Adam Woodyard, has recently made the mistake of getting close to suspicious newcomer B. Pollard, Ronnie Ancona, something he may soon live to regret after getting caught up in her murky dealings. Sinister B has latched onto an unsuspecting Ian in recent weeks, and amid their burgeoning romance, she has been at the forefront of his campaign to run for local councillor against Elaine Peacock, Harriet Thorpe. As election week arrives in Walford on Monday, Ian is on the final push for votes, but is upset to discover that the majority of people will be plumping for Elaine at the polls. B then comes up with an underhanded plan to launch a smear campaign video about Elaine to bolster Ian's chances. While Ian initially has his reservations, things don't go well for him at a public debate, and when Elaine manages to knock his confidence, he later gives B the green light to post the video. As the week goes on, the video starts to gain traction, and soon the whole of Walford is talking about its shocking contents. But Elaine somehow remains oblivious. Ahead of the election, Elaine heads over to see Ian to wish him well, and guilt suddenly strikes through his heart as he desperately tries to get B to delete the video. His attempts to cover his tracks prove unsuccessful, however, as Elaine soon learns of the video's existence from Cindy Beale, Michelle Collins. A confrontation between Elaine and Ian ensues, and filled with remorse, he tries to reverse his smear campaign. Meanwhile, B is still out canvassing for last-minute votes for Ian, but will her dirty tactics ultimately cost him the win? Walford has never been short of secrets, betrayals, and shocking twists, but this time, even the toughest residents of Albert Square are left speechless. In upcoming EastEnders scenes, B takes Ian down a path no one expected, pulling him toward a darker side that could change everything. Ian Beale has always been known as a survivor. He's lied, schemed, and manipulated when necessary, but deep down, many believe there was always a line he wouldn't cross. B, however, seems determined to prove that line doesn't exist. It all begins when tensions rise between Ian and several residents in Walford. Business troubles, family drama, and growing paranoia leave him vulnerable. He feels isolated, convinced that nobody truly has his back, not even those closest to him. That's where B steps in. B has been quietly observing everything, watching Ian unravel piece by piece. Unlike others who judge him openly, she offers sympathy. She listens. She understands. Or at least that's what Ian believes. First, her support feels genuine. Late-night conversations at the cafe turn into private meetings behind closed doors. B encourages Ian to stop being the victim and start taking control of his life. "You let people walk all over you," she tells him coldly one evening. Maybe it's time they learned what happens when Ian Beale stops playing nice. Those words linger in his mind. Meanwhile, Cindy begins noticing changes in Ian's behavior. He becomes secretive, defensive, and unusually calm during situations that would normally send him spiraling. There's something unsettling about the way he smiles now, like he knows something nobody else does. Peter also grows suspicious, especially after overhearing a tense conversation between Ian and B. When he asks questions, Ian snaps harder than ever before, warning him to stay out of business that doesn't concern him. The real shock comes when B convinces Ian to take revenge on someone who has crossed him, someone close to the family. Rumors swirl that a major betrayal is uncovered, leaving Ian furious and humiliated. Instead of confronting it the old-fashioned Walford way, B pushes him towards something far more dangerous. She suggests ruining them completely. Not emotionally, financially, socially, personally. She wants destruction. First, Ian hesitates. This is extreme even for him. But B knows exactly how to manipulate him. She reminds him of every betrayal, every humiliation, every moment he was made to look weak. "You don't owe anyone mercy," she whispers. "Especially people who never showed you any." And suddenly Ian agrees. Together they begin setting a plan in motion, one that could destroy lives across the square. Missing money, exposed secrets, and carefully planted lies start tearing relationships apart. Nobody suspects Ian at first. In fact, many believe he's the victim once again. But Cindy isn't convinced. She follows the clues and starts piecing together BA's influence over him. What she discovers horrifies her. Ian isn't just being manipulated. He's willingly embracing it. The bigger fear is that B may not be the mastermind at all. Perhaps Ian has simply been waiting for permission to become the man he always wanted to be. As the truth edges closer to exposure, Walford braces for fallout. One explosive confrontation at the Vic threatens to reveal everything. With half the square watching, accusations fly, tempers explode, and Ian is forced to make a choice. Confess and risk losing everything, or go even further into the darkness B has opened for him. In true EastEnders fashion, the moment is brutal. Voices echo, drinks are thrown, old wounds reopen, and then Ian says something so cold, so shocking, that even longtime enemies are stunned into silence. He doesn't deny it. He doesn't apologize. Instead, he simply says, "Maybe I'm done pretending to be the good guy." That single sentence sends shockwaves across Walford. For Kathy, it's heartbreaking. She sees her son slipping into someone she barely recognizes. For Peter and Bobby, it's devastating. They're forced to question whether the man they trusted was ever truly there. And for B, it's victory. She watches calmly, almost proudly, as Ian stands in the wreckage of his own reputation. Whether she genuinely cares for him or simply enjoys the power she holds remains unclear. But one thing is certain, she has changed him. The biggest question now is whether Ian can come back from this. Soap fans know redemption is always possible, but this feels different. This isn't a mistake made in panic or desperation. This is a deliberate choice. Ian looked into the chaos and chose it. And Walford may never forgive him. Fans are already buzzing online, calling the storyline one of the most intense Ian arcs in years. Some believe B is the most dangerous influence he's ever faced, while others argue she's simply unlocked what was already there. Either way, viewers are preparing for emotional scenes, shocking betrayals, and consequences that could ripple through the square for months. Because in Walford, darkness never stays hidden for long. And when Ian Beale steps fully into the shadows, everyone around him gets burned. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to EastEnders Spoilers Official.